Okay, we're mixing it up this week. We got some cool news like Brock Lesnar wanting to sign with TNA, a new talent signing, a re signing, a new international streaming deal, the IPWF throwback show over the weekend, the regular Impact Wrestling Knockouts show, which included an awesome Knockouts match, Eric Young was murdered, and a whole lot more. But first, I want to lead off with the mailbag, trying to get a little thing going here with a little schedule or something, but not quite yet because I am contractually obligated to mention my co host, the Horror King Gary. I gave him that nickname because the dude smells horrible. No, I can't actually prove that yet, but he is a horror movie guru, and he's going to give you weekly recommendations starting right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Referring to the movie, I believe I told you it was Death Rank. Isn't that what it was called, Jay?
Yeah, sweet picture.
Yeah, from Wild Eye Releasing, a company that I do reviews for. That I've kind of been on, like a bit of a defunct kind of path right now with them.
Lazy.
But it's a very fun film, more targeted for the Halloween kind of time frame because kind of has that throwback feel to the like slasher film of the 80s and 90s. Very, very fast paced, cheesy, kind of like one of those up all night kind of movies you'd see on USA back in the day with Rhonda Shear and Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, well, really dating yourself and me with that one, that I know that.
And I'm pretty sure our good old movie trailer reviewer, Joe Bob Briggs, would give this 10 thumbs up if he could.
Yeah, so check that movie out. Let us know. And okay, a few more quick things before we get to the mailbag. Got to give a shout out to our newly signed executive producer, Larry, who likely won't be mentioned again because it could get confusing with the names Gary and Larry. It's already difficult messaging both of them. Like, hey Gary, Larry's being a dick today. Or, hey Larry, Gary's being a dick today about this. And sometimes I mix it up, and then I'd be like, no, I meant this, but whatever. So I also have to mention my Facebook room, which is nicely growing, oddly titled Jason's Group of Awesomeness. You can all come and join. I'm really cool on there. Plus, I recently started a Reddit account that already has more news than pretty much any other. Than any other Impact community, and always will. Because if anyone knows me, I'm a psycho that can post like a lunatic. But I need more followers, or it's pointless. So that is r_impact_wrestling news. Please help me out there. Thanks. Now, we really enjoy our mailbag, and I know a few others do. I don't know what the hell anyone else likes when they listen to us, so for anyone new, it's kind of like anyone else's. Fans send questions, we respond, and here we go with I should stress, kinda like anyone else's. And here we go with the first one. We'll have one later on. This is from Angel in Juarez. Hey guys, I listen every week on Apple. My question is, after Giselle and Jay being signed, is Impact now the woke promotion? Wow, yowza. Was not expecting that one as the first comeback, but okay, I'm going to use my option to pass and send this over to see if Gary would like to take it.
Well, I kind of think that like Impact might be trying to like mix it up, viewership wise, maybe kind of catering maybe to the bisexual community, transgender.
Yes.
I totally get it. We're in 2022. I know AEW had a character with of the name Sunny. Was it Sunny Kiss?
Yes.
Yeah, and I kind of get what they're trying to feed off of that a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, as long as they put on a good show, I'm in for it. As long as we don't get oversaturated with it.
I agree. Just in case anyone doesn't know, Giselle is, transvestite, I believe. And did I get that right? Whatever. If I didn't,
because it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna feel like something from like a Glow promotion where you're gonna
and I mean Jay Vidal is a gay man, so, and supposedly, I don't know, I saw like reports like he was the first gay wrestler signed to a contract, but that can't be true, could it?
I wouldn't think so. I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I think isn't
he Acclaimed dude?
Jones was gay too.
I was gonna say, isn't he Acclaimed dude? But whatever. We're not getting into a whole gay thing because
but
it
is a good question. I couldn't tell you.
But no, I mean, Yeah, well, my thoughts on it quickly is, yeah, I mean, I agree with Gary. I mean, first off, I'm more about talent than anything. So if you have talent, which, I mean, Jay is only 25 years old. I quickly read up on him, and he learned from Gangrel. That's pretty awesome. Started in
Well, that in itself is shocking too, because like, just because we know Gangrel is the vampire warrior, has that kind of
yeah,
like that part
hardcore.
Undertaker, part I don't know, Edge kind of look to
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would kind of expect like his people to come out like with insane characters. But
Yeah, like the dark and dreary, not the light and fluffy or whatever
yeah,
you want to say.
yeah, but I mean, pretty cool that he's he's training. He's trained a crazy amount of people. But yeah, okay. Now there's some Impact news we got to get to. Like Jay Vidal got signed, which we kind of just mentioned there. Which is,
He does have a good look, though, Jay. To be fair,
yeah, no, very good look. I mean, I honestly haven't seen much of him in the ring other than last year he's got squashed twice.
I do know he's a decent high flyer, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Here's all I care about: is he good enough? And I mean, I'm pretty sure he is. Like at least at this point,
the youth part I really like because he's 25.
Yeah, exactly. He's 20. Exactly. He's, like everybody says, like we do too. Like we want talent signed. And like, what's better to sign than a 25-year-old friggin' person that Tony hasn't found out about yet? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, at this point, I think we're going to get a lot of them 25 age group people that really don't have a lot to offer, but have the talent that goes unnoticed because they don't get the chance to shine in the indies.
Yeah, or they happen to be one of the 30 or 50 wrestlers that isn't signed by Tony yet.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with that. And also, Tasha Steele's re-signed. Your girl. You must love that.
Oh, yeah. I was really excited seeing that. I don't know if you noticed, too, recently she was doing a little bit of an excerpt for plug-in the tapings in is it Osceola, Florida? Or I can't remember the name of the...
Doesn't matter.
But she was plugging it anyway for the tapings, and she looked like she was really, like... reinvigorated,
yeah,
for the tapings, and it looked like to me like she had just signed that contract going into that, and I apologize that for my son come out of nowhere.
It's cool, it happens. Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I mean, God, I love Tasha, and I think she goes out of her way to promote them, and always kind of waving the Impact flag. So great for her. Also, before we get to EY, which I think is we can kind of argue and talk about it because he got murdered, quote unquote. But before that, we got to talk about this DAZN deal quickly. Impact has a new international streaming deal with DAZN. Gary, what do you got on that?
Well, as of this writing, I'm looking at right now, this is DAZN and Impact have entered a new multi-year distribution partnership that will cover nearly 170 countries. And when I looked into it further, it's actually more like 200 countries. What else does it say?
Why are they not in the U.S.? I mean, they are in the U.S., but why can't we be on them in the U.S.? That would be nice for me. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, they're I did have some additional info really fast on them too. I'll do it really fast.
Basically, it's a big ass streaming company, and
yeah, I had something here. Trying to hurry it up.
Also got some cool Brock Lesnar news before we move on after this.
Yeah, well, apparently DAZN has been around for like nearly 7 years. They employ like 3,000 employees. They're worth like $3 billion. And recently picked up the streaming services of 11 Sports and Team Whistle. I have no idea what I know. They're just more like a sports content kind of provider. So they're growing as Impact's trying to regrow after the last regime. So
the more places they can be, the better, I think. Similar to our podcast, which you can find just about everywhere on podcast apps and YouTube. Now, okay, this is pretty awesome, or not awesome. Maybe the opposite of awesome. Brock Lesnar. Did you happen to catch this, Larry? Jesus. Oh, my God, I just did it. Oh, God. Oh man. Oh man.
No, yeah, I did catch that. Wasn't it coming from the an interview with Kurt Angle, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's like a legit thing. It came straight
Yeah,
from Kurt
totally.
Angle.
Yeah, and something to do with Hulk Hogan
I got it
not
right here. Ready?
step aside or something, and like,
I got it right here. Ready? So this is from this is Kurt Angle's words. Okay, Brock calls me. He is not in WWE anymore. I added. He says, "Listen, man, can you get me in TNA? I probably shouldn't even be saying this right now, but you know what? Brock doesn't care." He said, "Hey, what are you making?" I told him what I was making. He said, "If you can get me that, I'll come." And then Angle approached TNA, and they said, "No, we're not going to give him that kind of money." And then he said, "No, I think they were at the top of their budget at the time. They couldn't really give out any more money. Sting was making a lot of money."
yeah, that's what I mean. I guess like it was too much because Hogan was bringing in all his guys.
But my question is, like, my God, could that have changed like everything if they did? Do you think?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not huge on Brock Lesnar, the man, but the wrestler I love.
Well, I mean, how about the name?
Yeah, that's what I mean. The recognition and all of that. I mean, that could have definitely been a game changer. I mean, can you imagine you're watching when we went live? You know, keep in mind we
Oh
went
yeah.
live occasionally back in the day. Can you imagine if the lights went out and you hear the Brock Lesnar theme?
Yeah, and like I don't know if it was a time when Angle was like killing it, but like,
Yeah.
didn't Angle have like a really long run, or like after he beat Joe?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he was the what was he? He's always been known as the headbutt that changed Impact forever for me.
Yeah, like imagine that went on, and then eventually Lesnar came out to meet Angle. I mean, God,
yeah, that would have been great.
that's just crazy thing that could have
It would
happened.
have been a good way to have a rival to Kurt because like Kurt was mowing down all the talent in Impact at the time.
Yeah, it was kind of fair. He's that goddamn good. Okay, so we got to the Kurt thing. Sorry, got a bunch of things here. Eric Young. Okay, now I was really pissed off when I read that Eric Young left or was leaving to go back to WWE for many reasons. One of them being he's like close with Scott, so I don't want to be too mean to Scott, but it's like if he can't keep EY, like I don't know. I don't want to say like he's pointless because he obviously he does tons of other things, but I don't know. That really hurt me. But then I watched how it happened, and he got murdered, and I absolutely love that shit. Gary, what are your thoughts?
Well, I liked what they did. Somebody did the background music too that was like a public domain kind of thing for that particular showdown between Eric Young and Diener.
Yeah,
which was pretty cool. I mean, they were able to get a song by somebody that is known to the industry, I guess, that they were able to get without having like a copyright kind of thing going on, which was pretty cool. But
oh yeah, probably pay $1 million like Tony is for songs.
but I did like what they did here, just because it's kind of like Eric was passing the baton on to Cody Diener, and I'm kind of interested to see where we're going to go with VBD from here on out, just because Joe Doring obviously is on the, I'm not trying to put him out there. He's on the shelf, and that's unfortunate because of his health and cancer. But he's on the shelf, and it's time for some of these other guys to step up. And I'm wondering if maybe we're going to go outside the company to start adding more pieces. Just, maybe get a mouthpiece, if you will.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Diener is going to be a main event guy likely ever. Even though I love him, I think I know he's a great person. Like, he does an incredible amount of charity, this dude. So, like, I love that I don't know if he's going to be the leader, because, like, is there anyone left? Is it just him? Is he going to grow? Is he going to grow the group back? I mean, I don't know. That could be interesting. And, my God, it hurts losing EY. But, I mean, I will say, I don't know, maybe he kind of knew he was leaving because he was, I don't know, they didn't really do much with him. Like, I feel like they could have done so much more, and they really didn't. You know what I mean? Other than...
Well, is this where you think we might bring in the other half of the Ascension, too, maybe, to join VBD?
I mean, I think they should. I mean, why not? I would get, like, everyone possible who you can before I keep bringing up Tony, but, like, he's signing everyone. Like, he just signed someone yesterday. Like, I think he just signed...
I know this isn't a pop
Sorry, he just signed Juice. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh no, I haven't really seen much of Juice since.
He doesn't stop. This guy. It's like he wakes up every morning and just who can I give my AEW button to today? It's like it's insane. But to be fair, like they have a lot of shit going on, and like they have a lot of shows, and I'm a little bit jealous of that. Like I would like a good version of Dark on YouTube for free every week. And I mean a good
Oh
version
yeah,
because I would never watch dark matches because I feel like that's literally the opposite of what wrestling should be. But that's a whole nother story. Okay, so we got that. All right, how about grades for this week's Impact? Not IPWF, which we'll get to. Just this week's Impact, which was main evented with the knockouts.
Boring for me.
Up, we got a guest. We got our first guest. And it was a run-in. So this was the knockouts. I thought it was an awesome knockouts match. And overall, I'd give the show a 7.5. Not great. I didn't love the start, and there wasn't a great X match, which I feel like they should have every week. What do you think?
did you say an X match every week?
Yeah. Did I miss one this week?
I did something funny on my end. I don't know if I'm having some troubleshooting going on because we
sorry.
just came off like 2 nights ago getting like 70-mile-an-hour winds up here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This might be the end of Gary, folks.
Yeah, well, I don't know, winter comes, it gets crazy up here. Yeah, I definitely think the X Division is the proper way to kick off a typical Impact show. But like I mentioned, I kind of feel like every week we do the same thing, though. Like, I know this Thursday, or this coming Thursday, we're going to be doing a 60-minute man match between Walking Weapon and Speedball, and to me, I wouldn't mind that ever so often, or maybe not. Why not dedicate a whole entire show to like a tournament or something?
Oh no, totally agree.
A tournament, or even if it was like maybe once every couple months or something. You know what I mean? Like,
how about like
for different divisions?
How about like even bringing back like the old what the hell are those specials called? But whatever, like Joker's Wild for like a.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like that name.
Oh, you know what I mean, but like an Impact in December or something.
Yeah, like. Well, I even like the pay-per-view that WWE got from when the now defunct ECW. I always loved the December to Dismember.
Oh yeah, great name.
I always loved that pay-per-view.
Yeah, one of the best names ever. Also. Oh yeah, sorry. Well, like you meant. Well, like I was mentioning, and I was wrong this week, but Bully Ray started this week's show. So how'd you like that? It was kind of different. It was kind of, I don't want to say WWE-ish, but I do like when they mix it up, like you were just saying that they kind of.
I'm gonna admit it's a little long-winded, maybe a little bit, but I think if anybody can pull off the long-winded segments, it's a guy like Bully Ray.
Yeah, I mean, the fans weren't incredible, but they were.
But I mean,
good enough, and they were popping. Like they gave Bully like the heel reaction, like he should have gotten, and Josh was the face, obviously, and.
Well, I feel like he's re-inspired, which is really cool to see, just because, like, a lot of guys get to his age, and I don't know, you really want to do an Impact, when they're not really a top company. You know what I mean? Like, we're not number 2 anymore.
Yeah, he looks like he really, really cares, and he's putting like everything into this.
Yeah, like he's taking it on his shoulders to try and make it a better show.
I did not think that was going to happen. I expected that to happen. I love Bully Ray. I think he's a great character. I mean, from what I know, I think he's good behind the scenes, other than when he's booking himself in like a year-long feud against, what the hell was that dude's name in Ring of Honor? The feud that never ended. Flip Gordon. That pissed me off. But I think maybe he's learned from that, and he also probably obviously he likes being like the main event guy, so he's probably really enjoying this and being the top guy for a big pay-per-view, Hard to Kill. I mean, what do they have? 4? How many real pay-per-views are there? 6?
You can kind of say 4 to 5. I mean, I know there's only really 4, but there's always that that other one in there that kind of always feels special, like it could feel like an actual pay-per-view. The only difference is it's not it's not a pay-per-view is because it's on it. Like if you watch it on Impact Plus, you're able to tune. I don't know if you can get I don't know if you get a free preview of anything on an actual pay-per-view, but like
Yeah.
on Impact Plus and YouTube you can.
Yeah, it would be cool if they did more of that. So here's what I liked about this. Well, first, Swan lost. Bully got his chain, so he's just all out heel now. And here's what I really loved. I think you mentioned it before with Scott coming out. But I loved Bully's response. Like Scott called him, like Scott agreed that he's a piece of shit, and Bully said, but you're the guy who hired me. And like I've had this thing going like in the back of my mind for so long that like Scott is a heel, and like he's eventually gonna like give one of those Bully speeches like from back in the day with Aces and Eights. You know what I mean? When he like showed everything. And
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
as long as he doesn't turn around and say, is it hot in here or what? like Taz did. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm kind of getting that vibe now too, because you kind of got that in my head. Like I think that might be a thing.
Then I guess I don't know. I get you can go with the whole he's friends with Dreamer and Dreamer's close with what's his name. So I guess you can kind of.
Well, I think Dreamer's gonna turn heel too.
Well, that would be nice, but I don't know. Has Dreamer ever been a goddamn heel in his life?
I don't know. That's what I mean. Like maybe
Like,
the difference, and maybe this will be the person that takes the belt off Josh because of something Dreamer does.
Yeah, he might. I'm not sure. Got to quickly mention.
ECW rules, Jay.
Oh yeah, got to quickly mention. I'm a huge fan of podcasts. I'm sure everyone knows that. I listen to a bunch of them. Happen to be checking out Total Nonstop Impact this weekend. I noticed they had Jay Vidal signed on the what do you call it? Picture, the
Thumbnail.
thumbnail. Thanks, Larry. Jesus God, you gotta be kidding me. You have gotta be kidding me.
Too much football, Jay.
So, but they didn't mention Tasha. So, I mean, listen, if you want to take that as them being sexist and racist like I do, then sure. And if you want to just ignore that, then we'll just continue on with. Shit, I lost my track. I lost myself. Oh, sorry. Grade. Oh, yeah. Did you have a grade for this week's show? I gave 7.5.
I'm gonna be right about there with you. I'm gonna give it maybe a 7.7.
Yeah. So just running down it quickly. Moose beat Bhupinder in about a little under 10 minutes of a match.
Oh man, I was not feeling this match at all.
I got no idea what they're doing with this dude, man. Like a mid card. I think they're trying to make him into like a solid mid carder, but he's just not good enough. Like, am I wrong?
Well, that's what I mean. That's the thing. I know we reiterate. I know it seems like we're like got this record and it's just broken, and we keep repeating it. But my thing going into these weekly reviews we do is it just seems so blatant that our roster is so thin at this point that like Bhupinder should not even be in the ring with a Moose.
No, I totally agree. And if he is, he should lose in 2 minutes.
It's just he's not on that level.
Yeah, and I mean, no big deal. I mean, and it's not even like it's not like the roster is that dead. I mean, how many people were not on this show that could have been in that spot instead?
Rivalry because they're building it up for Joe Hendry and Moose to be battling for the digital media.
I mean, I get it. Like, who else? I mean, but what the hell is Jesus? Where's Manny Lemons and people like that? But Moose killed them. What's the other guy's name? What's the other guy's name? He was with
on Twitter, I think.
What's the other dude's name? Yeah, he's on Twitter. What's the hell's his name? I think he's still with Impact, isn't he? He was part of the learning tree.
Oh, Zicky Dice?
Yeah, is Zicky's still around?
Yeah, he is.
Who's the other guy who's with learning tree? VSF? Am I getting that right?
VSK?
Oh, we lost him, I guess?
Last time I knew, I think somebody said that our good boy down south
son of a
offered him like a dark contract or
son of a motherfucker.
Like he ain't gonna see any TV time,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll get to what's the name after. Okay, so now we have an X Division match that perfectly lines up with my boy Robles, which he mentioned he would like to see Moose or Macklin as the next champion. Now, I love both guys, but I always go back to what the hell exactly is the X Division? Or what should it be? What do fans want it to be? No limits. Smaller flippy dudes. Should there be big guys in the X Division? Like, I'm really curious what fans think. Like,
Yeah.
we've talked about this before. So tonight, there was a match between Macklin and Kazarian. Like, would you call this an X Division match?
But I don't know. I like when I see Macklin, I feel like he's more suited for. You said Macklin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if I misunderstood what you said. But Macklin, he's a good wrestler, but my problem with it is he, to me, feels more like a digital media division or a tag champion, or maybe even possibly the world championship, just because of his old school look.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I could see him being a future world champ.
But I just, for some reason, to me, he's right up there with was it Pepper Parks that used to be with Impact? He kind of has that like bigger stature. Like he does, to me, he kind of doesn't have that look like an X Division star. Like, to me, when I think of X Division, I think of Austin Aries, I think of Low Key, AJ Styles, Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe.
I feel like most people do. I mean, Trey Miguel these days, Ace.
Yeah, exactly.
Ace Austin, like, I don't know. Like, to me, that's what the X Division should be. But then I get like the whole no limits thing. But I don't know. I would kind of go back. I would kind of go back in time and drop that no limits thing unless there's another Samoa Joe around. Which, you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Sorry, let me stress: a young Samoa Joe, not this version of Samoa Joe who has 2 goddamn world titles for a company that has 800 people.
Yeah, and then we wouldn't be having Joe facing a giant that can't move in the ring.
Yeah, but I mean, like I really like Macklin, and I mean Kazarian.
Oh, I do too. I love the guy. I think he's got a good look.
Yeah, Kazarian, obviously. I mean, one of the best all time. Other than the fact that he's an AEW piece of trash who doesn't belong on this show anymore, and that's a little confusing and tiny bit scary. Like, what the hell is the deal going on? There's nobody on Impact, right? There's nobody on AEW from Impact. So what is Impact giving back or whatever? Or is Tony, kind of slowly taking over? Because that would scare the shit out of me. But
I know that's what I kind of feel like where he's kind of like interjecting pieces into the company. Like it's kind of like we said, it was like an off brand of his main shows, just because like every so often the actual action in the ring will lull down in terms of like new faces, and then bam, an AEW talent shows up out of nowhere, like a Christian.
Yeah, I mean, it might be I don't know. Could it be that just like I mean, like the guys you mentioned, they do have past with Impact, so.
Well, that's why I'm surprised we haven't seen Jay Lethal yet.
Could it be like I don't want to say they see Impact as like an indie, so it's kind of legal going by their contracts in certain scenarios? Or maybe, like, I don't know. Or is Tony just being nice and being like, Kazarian, I got nothing for you, bro. You want to work Impact dates? Go ahead.
Well, the weird thing is, I kind of feel like him and Scott do have this legit relationship. Like, they are friends. I don't know. Just from what I see, it seemed like Scott was reaching out, like, his hand, like an olive branch kind of thing. Yeah. Like, he was kind of, like, kissing up to Tony in a respectful way, of course. But
yeah, I mean, I hate it, but you kind of have to.
Yeah, and the thing is, I just kind of feel like Scott's kind of like that glue that's keeping all the promotions together in terms of exchanging talent, because seems like all the other ones, like there was talk of MLW working with us, and where's that? I haven't seen any inkling of anything going on in that.
I've heard a lot of people in the past bashing Court Bauer, and like I never really seen any reasons why other than like some stories, but I'm guessing it's him. Like I think he probably thinks, I don't know. I think he thinks like too big of himself, or MLW. But I could be totally wrong about that. Like I don't know. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I do know he's not very liked by a lot of different.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, Scott kind of gets along with everyone. So like, literally, it might just be that. I mean, who gets along with WWE and AEW at the same time? Like, it's kind of insane.
Well, I kind of feel like with us in WWE, I think we've kind of become like is it the old promotion Evolve?
Oh yeah, and
That's what I kind of feel like we got a thing going on. But look what
I
happened.
hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't end that way.
That's what I
Really,
just kind of feel like.
really quick. Darren Paltrowitz has a Paltrow cast, and recently Joe Hendry and I think Bupinda were on there. You can all check that out on rimpact_wrestlingnews.com on Reddit. Really got a ton of this stuff, and I'm using it right now to scroll up to see if we missed anything. Okay, this is awesome. Wow, I'm really glad I caught this. Damn it, though, it's happening today. But still, it's very nice to mention. Mick Foley is doing a Nice Day tour. You know about these tours where he does like it's like a one-man kind of thing? Well, whatever. All of the proceeds of today's...
Oh, are you talking about stand-up?
Yeah, basically. Like he kind of like tells stories and...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have seen some videos of him doing that.
Yeah, I mean, they sell really well.
I think Roddy Piper was doing that at the tail end of before he passed.
Yeah, but I'm again, no offense to anyone, obviously not Piper, but like Foley's I think he like kind of started this with wrestling guys, and all the proceeds from today's show are going to Joe Doring as he battles brain cancer, which is totally awesome. Just had to throw that out.
Totally cool of Mick to do that.
Yeah, had to throw that out there. I mean, goddamn, just incredibly, incredibly cool. And all right, so we got the show. I gave it a 7.5. Yeah, so the X Division. Got over that, and here comes another mailbag question. Sorry, everyone, I don't have my mailbag button pulled up, but you've got mail. Okay. Hi, it's Michelle from Los Angeles, new listener. And then there is an emoji with like a smiley face with like a kiss and then the little red thing on the side. I don't know what that means because I'm 43. So what do you think Impact needs to do with AEW? Sorry, what do you think Impact needs to do with to compete with AEW and WWE, or is that not possible anymore? Also, I wasn't making fun. I just don't know how to read emojis. Gary?
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot's going to be telling come 2023. I think with the landscape will be that much more thinner for us to take talent. I think we're just going to have to bunker down and see what there is in the first quarter of 2023. But I don't know. It's looking kind of bleak, like you say, because like it's kind of hard to compete with that almighty dollar when you got like a 27-time billion-dollar company like WWE that just keeps getting better deals after better deal.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody abuses WWE. They just made more money than ever with what's his name, their latest pay-per-view. Like, I hate pointing these things out, but like they're so far above everyone else. And then there's AEW, who's like kind of so far above everyone other than everyone else. You know what I mean?
Well, and not to mention,
they're getting there. They're getting there. I have no idea about outside.
I have some, like further to mention about the DAZN deal too. It comes into more fruition for Impact because I did hear recently they actually did lose some kind of major deal with India. So this kind of had to be their kind of backup because I think they can still maybe get it. They can be they have some smaller conglomerate they'll be able to be seen through, but it's a much lesser viewed company. And now with this DAZN, maybe it's time for us to focus on a different part of the world if we have to.
Yeah, I mean, the world's a big goddamn place. And we're kind of, we're Americans.
I mean, hell, why not go to Australia or
Yeah. I mean, I more than anyone, I'm kind of like an American idiot where I don't really think of, but I think a lot of wrestling fans are like that, like we just don't think of like the rest of the world, even though it's incredibly important. we're just American, but whatever, I got to mention Cyphosphere Radio, who sent us a report last week. It was awesome. And then he commented, mentioning, just some cool stuff. You can check out. He has a whole thing. It's on our comment on our last video where you can also, we have.
Yeah, well thought out comment, I might add too.
Yeah, we have spoilers from him for next week's show on last week's episode. Got it? Sorry. Does everyone else? Sorry. Everyone out there got it? And this is what I liked. He mentioned I could see Mike Bailey being a huge NXT Sami Zayn type face. Totally agree with that. Like Sami Zayn, like Zayn wasn't like he didn't have like his wacky personality like he does now.
Oh yeah,
kind of like just like the awesome wrestling face guy that just everyone loved because like he just put on awesome fucking matches and.
Well,
that's how I saw it.
Well, ROH kind of had him. You're talking about El Generico, aka Sami Zayn, right?
Yes.
Well, my thing is with him, like I always liked the Generico character, but like just from what I've seen, like he's grown like character wise since like losing that mask.
Oh, he's fantastic now.
And that's what I mean. Like, who's to say that we couldn't get some luchadors that don't have character? That we could land.
Yeah, and wasn't that the reason? Like, he put a mask on because, like, I think he said he had like a kind of like a not a great look and like wasn't like a great talker or anything, and like he became now he's one of the top.
That's what I mean.
Now he's one of the literally like the most interesting superstar in WWE. People are actually talking about him being the one to beat Roman Reigns. Like, it's insane.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's weird. Like, like early in your career, like you're doing a promo to crickets, and then like you're on a much grander stage, and like you're being talked about as the next big thing.
Yeah, I don't want to talk a lot about WWE, but just really fast, Eli Drake is feuding with Bray Wyatt. I mean, God, I've always loved Eli Drake, and I just think that's cool. But I got to mention again. So from our friend here who sent us the report, he mentioned the kids were also losing it over Mickey on both nights. And they mentioned there was a lot of kids there, a group present at the taping with over 2 or 3 adult chaperones.
Wonder if that was like
he said that's becoming he said some kind of wrestling group or something. Then he said that's becoming a big thing over here, and Louisville is huge on wrestling. So I mean, he goes on. There's a lot more. It's an awesome comment, but I don't want to just read the whole thing. And again, thanks again. And I messaged if he ever has any more, and if Impact goes back, which he would love to see, he will send us another report, and that will be cool. And sorry, what else do we go? Oh, IPWF. Well, sorry, hang on. Did we miss anything with the the knockouts match we got to get to? I loved it. Thought it was awesome. I mean, is it ever not? It was an over 20-minute knockouts match between Deanna and Mickey. I actually thought Deanna could win this, and I'm pretty sure I read spoilers knowing she didn't win it. So,
the thing is, as we all know, if Mickey loses coming out of this match, she has to retire.
Yeah, and I was dumb enough to think, oh my God, she might actually lose here. But, I mean, that's just how good friggin' Deanna is. And, I mean, if you don't know, Deanna just got married. Awesome pictures. Got them on that Reddit thing, on my group, on, her pages or whatever.
What I like about this, Jay, with Deanna is, like, there's no egos here. She could have just as well went over Mickey here and could have ended her her career on this particular episode. Although, going into it, she probably is not going to end her career on that note. She's probably going to lose it at a pay-per-view
And Deanna does have I've been a tag team wrestler for a while now, so, I got to get back in the singles thing going for her. As she went over 20 minutes with Mickey, who's like, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and had to grab the tights for a roll-up.
Yeah, that was I get why they did it, but I just thought it was kind of ill-timed, like, you know what I mean? Because it was like, I
think it's a setup.
Yeah. I just felt like there was a message there.
I think it's a setup for how she beats Jordan. She'll do anything, and Jordan isn't prepared for that. Maybe she'll have somebody come out. I don't know. I think she's going to beat Jordan, though, at Hard to Kill. I don't think there's any chance in hell Bully's winning at Hard to Kill, and I think there's going to be a title change. And I think this all fits nicely, and I don't know about anyone else, but I don't think she should be retiring. So maybe
I don't either. How sure are we that Chelsea's actually left the company? Has she?
Again, I'm not sure on that either. Until she shows up on WWE, I don't believe anything. So, but I got to quickly mention Deanna was on DAZN. She did an interview with DAZN this week. Check out DAZN. Just Google the DAZN YouTube. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool interview. Like, and she is so goddamn, like I said about Tasha earlier, like just putting over Impact, putting over everything. Like, I like you said, like she probably could have like said, I'm not going to lose to Mickey. Like she's probably that big, you know what I mean? or like with her contract or whatever. But like she's totally, you can just tell from the listening, like for 5 minutes, she is totally on board with like everything and loves it. And I'm sure Macklin being there helps, but
Well,
so
and
that's
Impact Productions, if you're at these next set of tapings, I'm telling you right now, you need to get out there and plug all that BAZN stuff all over the arena. You need to get this. You need to get that look out there. You need to get that message out there that we're growing worldwide, and that's
get them some followers. You know what I mean? Like you want people.
Yeah, I gave them a follow just after that deal.
Like you want people listening. You want people, checking out the Dazzin videos when it's on Impact and stuff. So I thought it was really cool. I mean, Impact.
Well, the thing is, they're not just all wrestling either. They're just about every sport you can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really cool. Like, how many times does Impact have like a cool interview with like even like stars like that? You know what I mean? Unless it's on.
Did you say they have a United States version of it as well?
Yes, they do, and I'm hoping very much that it comes, or I can get Impact on YouTube, Access on YouTube. If anyone's out there, all we have to do is like get enough people to get in touch with YouTube TV and say we want Access on there. That's how easy it is. Also want to quickly mention Kurt Angle's show came out today, a new episode. He talks about closing out his 2007 in TNA. I'm going to check that out. Also, Trey Miguel just had an interview. It's on Fightful about his heel turn, which I didn't think was complete, but I guess it is because there's literally an article about it. So yeah, we talked about that last week, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Like I don't think we were sure like if he totally was a heel or not, but whatever. Again, I love this goddamn ending. Like I just love the whole killing off. Like I don't know. I'm sure you do too, as like a horror movie fan. Like the whole killing off characters.
I kind of got that, kind of like that prison kind of movie too, or like show, like where they kind of like a season, like an ending, like a season finale, if you will.
Because it started out that way with him and the thing, right?
Yeah, well, with Eric in behind the bars and all that.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. It kind of felt like he was like setting him free. It wasn't just to build him to go to another company, but I just kind of felt like maybe this was his way of saying that that Cody Deaner has grown as a spirit or whatever, and now he's ready to take over.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. Like you gotta kill me. I'm becoming a piece. Here's how I saw it. You have to kill me. I'm becoming a piece of garbage. I'm so messed up. I literally just signed with WWE. I need you to legitimately kill me right now, not just on like television. I don't know why I signed with WWE. I talked to Triple H for like 5 minutes. I don't know what he did to my mind. Please kill me. Now, I'm not sure if that's correct or if it was just a wrestling thing, but again, I really enjoy it when you know someone's not returning. Like they did it with Allie, and Allie never returned. I mean, I'm sure she can.
Yeah,
that would be easier because they can go through the.
This very, very much felt like the new season of Dexter. Dexter, the new blood as well, because it was Eric Young was the monster, and he didn't want to continue, because he'd had enough with evilness, and he wanted to whatever, like leave or whatever. Yeah, and like it kind of felt like that's kind of like what maybe they even got the idea from the Dexter show.
Well, I just loved it. Anything tied to anything, movie, TV related. We're kind of, both of us.
And I'll honestly say it worked better for Impact than it did the show because that left a bad taste in my mouth for the show.
Okay, so let me quickly jump over because we've talked about like the lack of the roster size and stuff, but then IPWF had like 50 matches with. I'll be honest, I didn't get through the whole thing yet. I don't mean get through it in a bad way. I just, had a busy weekend and I want to watch the whole thing at once because I like these fun shows. And I still don't know where the hell it is. They said it was free on Impact Plus, and I could have sworn it said YouTube. Maybe that was just for insiders. This was not promoted one time on Friday on Facebook. And they were doing things on Facebook. They were doing like the old, hey, this happened 20 years ago or something,
Yeah, I think we actually plugged it more than anybody else, pretty much.
It's like very odd. I mean, it's like even if you hate it, like they made it. It's a show. Like you want people to see it. And this has a lot of matches and it had, I mean, well, just going back to the talent thing, like, I don't know who half the people were because there was so many goddamn people. There was literally like 15 matches, I think I counted before we got what we started here. And
Yeah,
I'm guessing,
I,
you mentioned ODB came back, so that was literally one of
yeah,
many.
they stuck up one of the matches from the show on BTI, I believe, too.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I'm going to cut down one of the matches for the IPWF show.
Yeah. I'm sorry. One of them was Jesus. I'm blanking on his name.
One of them was with Alicia, but I can't remember what her character was.
The dude I can't stand, who was with the Taya. He was like Taya's like oh man, Taya and the dog. Come on, help me out, Gary.
And then,
he used to be a referee.
Oh,
yeah, he had a match.
Mundo, not Mundo, Johnny.
Yeah. It looks like he beat Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, I knew. It's been a while since he's done the show.
Oh man, they love that guy. They love that guy.
Bravo.
Oh, okay. How about Swinger? Here you go. Perfect. Sorry, perfect example. Like a guy that should be used more. Like, shouldn't we have Swinger more on the main show? Shit.
Well, I mean, you would think they would too, because he didn't he just re-sign for like another year?
Yeah, and he's entertaining.
Yeah, well, that too. It's hard to. I think what it is it's kind of hard to book them on the show because you got to have them in certain elements that make sense, and it's like because you can't really put him in any really title scenes because he's obviously not gonna win likely. And I don't know. It's kind of hard with a character like that. I wouldn't mind seeing him maybe come in and be the third man in the booth.
Yeah, good point. I just mean they're so they don't have many wrestlers. Like, why not throw him in there? Some matches?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he'd be like in small doses, like on the show. Like if you wanted, like some little bit of filler that was entertaining. I would rather see that than say
or Moose
squash match.
Like the Moose match, for example. Would you rather see him?
Yeah.
Have some fun out there. Moose kills him, or an 8-minute match with Bhupinder.
Exactly. Yeah. That's not even a contest.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Just throwing it out there. Also, I'm having some audio problems, so we're gonna have to cut it short now, or not short. We're just about done anyway.
Shorter.
Yeah. That's about it. Check out my group. Check out Gary's channel. Even though he's been lazy as shit and hasn't made a video in like a year, and we'll be back soon next week.
My sponsors will be coming from my head if I don't start releasing something soon.
Yeah, we might not have Gary when 2023 comes. I think he has 15 videos to make by the end of 2022, or they might take him out. All right, everyone, have a great Christmas if you don't catch us before then, but we won't be stopping. We don't do any Christmas holiday specials. We'll be back next week, and we will see you then.
Take care.